Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here today. My name is Cynthia, and I will be your MC this morning. It's always great to see so many of you at the monthly Remembrance Service. Thank you for attending, and also thank you to those of you who are joining us online. We will begin the service with the ringing of the Kansho, or the temple bell, which signifies the start of our service. It is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in ancient tradition and is the calling of the people to come together to listen to the Dharma or teachings. The temple bell represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of the Windward Buddhist Temple here in Kailua. Please sit quietly as the bell is being rung. We will now have meditation, followed by the chanting of the Vandana Ti-Sarana, which can be found in your red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 7. If you are able, please stand. Please be seated. Reverend Shingo will now chant the Sambujo found in your red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 9.
Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
We will now begin the remembrance of those individuals and pets who passed away during the month of November of any year. I will explain the procedure we will follow. Reverend Shingo will hit the gong several times, followed by an aspiration to begin this portion of the service. When the name of your loved one is announced, please proceed to the altar at that time to offer incense. After the last name is called and incense is offered, he will hit the gong several times and then go directly into chanting today's sutra, Juseige, found in your red service book on page 54. But it begins on page actually 55.
Fortunate are we who upon having heard the divine truth and having been given everlasting life may live this human existence in peace and tranquility, be surrounded in Amida's infinite wisdom and inconceivable compassion. We honor with deep gratitude the members, families, friends, and pets of the Windward Buddhist Temple who have passed away in the month of November of any year. With deepest gratitude to the boundless, inconceivable blessing of Amida Buddha, we take eternal refuge in the three treasures of this teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandabu, Namandabu, Namandabu.
Sawayo Hiramoto. Ritaro Sumikawa, Samie Asada, Tadayuki Nishita, Juichi Fukumoto, Matsue Miyamoto. Peg Deal Michael Wolf. Robert Wiley Kane, Miriam Davidson.
仏説無量寿経我言調整願必死無浄土志願不満足政府上昇学我を無量国不偉大聖主不最小 ムビング政府上昇学餓死成仏道妙正長実法空教未正門政府上昇学利欲人少年上映主凡行シグム浄土異生天人師人力縁大公不正無才道少女三苦名交際集約難回避地永遠滅死根毛案閉塞小悪道通達全宗門高僧上満足異往路実法日月修十期天候音符言異種解放像公正功徳法上大修十説法四識供養一切仏具足修徳本元年出上満徳意三害王如仏無下地通達未不詳願学営力投資最小尊志願薬国家大仙王感動国書天人東宇珍妙慶ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ願にし功徳平等性一切道発菩大心法上安楽ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ
If you are able, please rise for the recitation, Golden Chain of Love, found in your red service book on page 126. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I would try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I would try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Nembutsu. Please continue to stand for the Gatha at our altar, found in your purple Praises of the Buddha book on page 22. Please be seated. Dennis will now introduce our guest speaker, Carolyn Uchiyama.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Carolyn Uchiyama, born and raised in Wahiawa, is a graduate of Leilehua High School and the University of Hawaii in education. She taught at Waipahu Elementary, Nanakuli Elementary, and retired from Helimanu Elementary in 2009. Carolyn was introduced to Buddhism by Reverend Thomas Okano when she was asked to help her sons with their religious work in Cub Scouting while they were attending Wahiawa Hongwanji Gakuen. He agreed and asked that they attend temple, and thus began her spiritual journey. She began teaching Dharma school at Wahiawa Hongwanji, as well as participating on their board of trustees. Currently, she is co-president of Wahiawa Hongwanji. She is active on the Hongwanji state level as a director from the Oahu District, chair of the Buddhist Study Center Committee, and a member of the Living Gratitude Ad Hoc Committee. She also serves as a co-chair for the 15th Buddhist Women's Association State Membership Conference and is on the workshop committee for the 18th World Buddhist Women's Convention. I'm out of breath. She's a wonderful person. Please welcome Carolyn.
Thank you. I didn't add all that Dennis said in my bio. Well, as Dennis has said, I am Carolyn Uchiyama, and I'm a member of Wahiawa Hongwanji. And as he told you also, if it were not for Reverend Thomas Okano, I would not be here. Okay. And so today, the topic of my talk is Ondobo, Ondogyo. Shinran Shonin used the phrase Ondobo, Ondogyo to describe people who are traveling on the Buddhist path. They are fellow travelers on the Dharma path, and they may be someone you have known for a long time, or they may be a person just introduced to you. Keep these fellow travelers in mind, because through the causes and conditions of life, they may have an impact on your life. I'd like to share about one of my fellow travelers. We attended the BCA Federation of Dharma School Teachers League Conference hosted by the Sacramento Buddhist Church. Utilizing what we learned, my fellow traveler and I helped to organize the State Dharma School Teachers Conference Dharma Chef Challenge a long time ago with our president, Ann Ishikawa of the Dharma School Teachers of Oahu. The participants were able to create a recipe, which was a lesson plan that they took back to their Dharma School classrooms. This fellow traveler and I lost touch with each other after that conference. Each of us became engrossed in our own lives and occupations until the next Hawaii State Dharma Educators Conference with the theme Embrace Change, Engage the Dharma. The purpose of the conference was to develop a plan of action to resolve a problem at your temple. And applying the ideas from the conference and the action plan, it was hoped each temple would resolve their identified need with the assistance of their district commissioner from the Commission on Buddhist Education. Since that time, this fellow traveler and I have established a strong bond by encouraging and helping each other on our Dharma path through various temple events, community, and even family events. One temple event we worked together on was Wahiawa Hongwanji's 110th anniversary celebration in 2018. Using the highly effective appreciative inquiry approach, a committee gathered to flesh out the purpose for this event. Since the temple was an integral part of the community for over 100 years, the committee wanted to ensure that there would be community involvement for the next 100 years. The committee decided to hold a multifaceted event over 2 days. On Saturday, we highlighted the temple's past by offering temple tours, old-time games such as cat's cradle and beanbag juggling. We also offered the community opportunity to participate in calligraphy, kendo, tai chi, and yoga sessions. Finally, we hosted a mini bazaar with bentos. On Sunday, we held the celebration with a formal service for our members and many invited guests. Each participant received a bag containing the anniversary booklet, a gratitude journal, a pen, and the messages from the Buddha book. Besides the anniversary celebration, the temple was recognized as a certified Blue Zone faith-based organization, the first Jodo Shinshu Buddhist Temple recognized for this accomplishment. In the end, we found that the appreciative inquiry approach pulled everyone's ideas together, honored them, and produced a program that satisfied everyone. During this extremely demanding time, it was helpful to have a fellow traveler to listen to me, to willingly complete any task, and to provide encouragement that it will all work out. Gambatte. our horizons open to new and exciting community activities, such as assisting Wahiawa Hongwanji Mission of Hawaii at the Book and Music Festival at the Honolulu Civic Center. With the assistance of volunteers from various temples and Bishop Eric Matsumoto, we shared and sold Buddhist literature as well as children's books with ideas of universal truths by local author Judge Leslie Ann Hayashi. Inviting the community to join our story hour, we read several stories from her book, Fables from the Sea. One story, The Moray Eel and the Little Shrimp, concluded with the moral, an act of kindness, no matter how small, shall never be forgotten. Leslie Ann Hayashi's stories shared Buddhistic concepts with the wider community. My fellow traveler is a bookworm and loves to read, so she was the perfect person to help at this event. She also brought sandwiches for lunch and cranberry chocolate chip McNut bars for dessert. She has slowly become my go-to person. Arigatai ne. Through these temple and community experiences, my fellow traveler and I became closer friends. She began talking about her mother's upcoming birthday combined with a family reunion. She readily invited me to join the fellow family celebration on the Big Island. I was touched to realize that I was considered part of her family. At the huge family dinner, I was happy to provide each guest with a handmade sakura note card as a small token of my appreciation to my fellow traveler and her family. The next day, there was an even larger luncheon, which included extended family, friends, and temple members. I was glad to provide the bingo activity, and my fellow traveler and I made sure that every person in attendance received a prize. As an only child, this large family gathering sparked a warm feeling inside of me because I was readily accepted as one of their own. Having this fellow traveler has expanded my life experiences with different family structures. Kansho desu. A fellow traveler can open windows of opportunity. For example, this fellow traveler joined Project Dharma. During friendly visits with her elderly friend, she would share a cup of coffee and a homemade snack, preferably with some chocolate morsels. As a former librarian who can no longer appreciate novels, my fellow traveler read her favorite children's picture books. The elderly woman thoroughly enjoyed the stories and illustrations. Later, my fellow traveler began cooking meals for her since COVID-19 prevented her from receiving meals on wheels at home in her condo. I began following my fellow traveler's example and started cooking for my elderly friends and another friend who was battling cancer. This cooking experience has brought me much satisfaction. These friends were helpful to me when they were active at our temple. This is my way of showing gratitude for the various ways they assisted with Dharma school lessons and outings, movie night meals, and assisting with our temple's Blue Zone cooking classes. Today, my fellow traveler and I enjoy providing meals for others. I've spent this morning talking about one fellow traveler on my Dharma path. There are many others who have touched my life or flowed in and out of my life or lingered for a while. In turn, I hope that I will be able to support each of them in some way and show my gratitude. Cherish our Ondobo, Ondogyo relationships as they enrich our lives and make our lives worth living. So, take a moment to reflect on the fellow travelers in your own life. I'd like to digress from my talk and talk about the things that actually I had talked about in my talk with you this morning, because I'd like to share this book with you. Because I talked about a book in my speech, right? So this book is called Addie's Cup of Sugar. So I explained that during the time we went to the Book and Music Festival, that we shared books that had Buddhistic principles, even though they're published authors. So in today's world, there are many topics that are very difficult to explain to young children, and these books are able to do that. So I'd like to share this book with you, which is called Addie's Cup of Sugar, and it is by my favorite author, John Muth. Addie and her pet kitten were the best friends. They did everything together. When he was very young, his meow sounded like the tooting of a tiny brass horn, and Addie named him Trumpet. They woke up together every day. Trumpet sat on the covers and wouldn't move until Addie got out of bed. When Trumpet was with her, the world was brighter and warmer. But one day, shortly after they moved into the neighborhood, it happened. Trumpet was hit by a car. Addie was very sad. Trumpet couldn't be gone. This couldn't really be happening. There must be something she could do. Then Addie remembered her friend Stillwater. He knew a lot about how to help people. He would know how to bring Trumpet back again. Addie ran to find him. Stillwater, Stillwater, Addie cried out. You have to help make Trumpet alive again. Please, make him come back. Oh, Addie, Stillwater said softly, I am so sorry. Perhaps we can find the medicine you need. But first, you will need all the right ingredients. You must go around the neighborhood and find someone to give you a cup of sugar. Stillwater handed Addie an empty cup. Fill this cup with sugar and bring it to me so we can mix it in the right medicine. But the most important thing of all is that the sugar must be from a home where death is a stranger. Addie hurried outside. She ran as fast as she could to the nearest house. Emma, who was visiting her grandma, answered the door. Do you have a cup of sugar I could have? Asked Addie. Yes, I'm sure we do, Emma said. Oh, good, said Addie. Stillwater needs it for a special medicine. Then Addie remembered, does anybody in your family know someone who has died? Oh, my grandpa died last year, said Emma. Oh, said Addie, unsure of what to do next. I'm sorry about your grandpa, but the sugar for this medicine must be from a home where no one has died. I'm sorry to bother you, she said. Addie ran through the backyards, beneath the laundry that hung on clotheslines. The linen sheets that brushed against her skin felt like Trumpet's rough tongue. She never knew what a cat's tongue felt like until she met Trumpet. Addie went to another house and knocked. She was surprised when her school librarian answered the door. Please, said Addie, I'm helping my friend Stillwater make a special medicine. I need to find a cup of sugar, but it must be from a home where no one has died. I'm sorry, said the librarian quietly. Last week, our dear old dog Gracie died in her sleep. I wish I could be of more help. Oh, said Addie, as quiet as the librarian. That's okay, thank you, and I'm sorry about your Gracie. Addie ran from neighbor to neighbor looking for a cup of sugar from a home where death was a stranger, but she couldn't find a single one. Each person had, at one time or another, had lost someone who was dear to them. Knowing she had to hurry, Addie scampered across the yard through some bushes between the trees. A rabbit watched her run past, the pupils in his eyes growing so very large. It was like when Trumpet would sit very still and watch and wait, and then he would pounce. Ouch! Addie's pants leg caught in a sticker bush. A sharp thorn broke the skin on her knee. She sat down and unhooked the thorn. I'm sorry, Trumpet, she said. I'm trying to help you as quickly as I can. Addie thought about all the people she had met today. When she looked at their faces, she knew how each of them had felt. And while she was still very sad, she did not feel quite so alone. She thought of Trumpet, of how he chased dragonflies in the yard, how he would find him curled up asleep in the funniest places, how his little pink toes felt so soft, how he would purr and rub his chin against her cheek while she lay in the grass looking at the clouds. The light was chasing the end of the day. After a long moment watching the sky, Addie stood and began to run. Stillwater was waiting for her on the porch. I have no sugar, Stillwater, Addie said. Everyone I met today has lost someone they love. But I understand now, she said. The medicine was for me, wasn't it? Stillwater smiled a beautiful, sad smile. Stillwater held Addie close. You may always be sad about him, said Stillwater. Only time can make him hurt less. And while you can't see him the way you once did, he has not really gone away. He is in your heart, and he always will be. Does anybody know what Buddhist story this comes from? Anyone? Jennifer? Correct. So this is the story about Kisagotami, who has lost her child, and the Buddha told her, she went to the Buddha for help, and he told her to go to each home to find someone who had not had death in their family also, but to get a mustard seed. So it's a similar kind of story, but it's told in a way a child will be able to understand, and death is a difficult subject to talk about with children. And so this book would be a perfect way to do that. Yeah, okay. Also, the other thing is that I talked about the Sakura cards. So this is like the specialty from Wahiawa, because I think there are very few places that actually have Sakura blossom. So this is the one from Wahiawa Hongwanji. It's right outside the temple. So if you look in the background, you can see the temple windows. And so this looks like a whole tree, except you have to go very, very close because the sakura tree came from Okinawa. The blossoms are very teeny tiny. So you just have to zoom in with your camera to get a picture like this. And the last thing I'd like to share so many temples do not have Dharma schools now. And I guess it's because of the decreasing population. So now we kind of need to have activities that are intergenerational, where everybody gets to participate. And if you ask people who are older, I'm sure they have things to share with you. Okay? It's like this. I know it's difficult to see, right? But this is a game that people used to play before. Anybody know how you play it? Anybody who would like to come and demonstrate? No? That knows how they played it? I'm sure people like Dennis would know. Actually, you need to spin it. Oops, I'm sorry. So you spin it like this. And you pull it. It's called a buzz saw. That's what it is. So you keep on playing it like. So, people long time ago, they had to use what was around them. So, the buttons from their mother's sewing kit, string, and things like that. Okay? So I'm going to leave all of this with your Sangha and hope that in the future you'll be able to use these to help your Sangha to become larger, because at the last Juseige, Dennis and his group shared how the activities that you've been doing here have revitalized your temple, and that's kind of news we like to hear at every temple. So I'd like to thank Windward Buddhist Temple for your efforts to do that and bring new energy back to this side of the island. So thank you very much. Namo Buddhaya.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was a wonderful talk this morning. I have I have several fellow travelers here in the temple, and I really want to thank them, and I think some of them know who they are. Thank you. If you're able to, please rise for the Gatha, Hotokesama number 2, which can be found in your purple Praises of the Buddha book on page 93. Then remain standing for the Nembutsu, which is found on page 145. Please be seated. Thank you for attending today's service. We will now have announcements by our temple president, Dennis.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Carolyn, for that wonderful story. Yeah, I wondered what that was about, but it did remind me of the that folk tale, I guess. Thank you very much. And I know Wahiawa was some beautiful sakura. Yes. And thank you, Reverend Shingo, for officiating our service today. Thank you, Cynthia, for being our MC. Neil, thank you for being the greeter. Lisa, of course, playing the piano, and Ryan, who's recording this service. I don't believe we have new guests today. Thank you, everyone, regarding the food drive we had that benefited the Hawaii Food Bank. We delivered to the food bank 235 pounds of food, which was 10% more than the spring food drive. We also turned in $70 in cash donations. Next Sunday's service will be our regular family service. Reverend David Fujimoto of Moilili Hongwanji will be our minister officiant, and Joy Nishida will provide the Dharma Talk. That should be fun. It's always fun. Remember that we will not have a Sunday service on December 7. Instead, I encourage you all to attend the Hawaii Buddhist Council Bodhi Day service, which will be held at the Higashi Hongwanji Mission of Hawaii, located in Liliha. More information can be found on the flyer that's on our bulletin board. Also, a reminder, we will have our annual general membership meeting after the December 21st family service. Following the meeting, temple members are welcome to have lunch at the new Moi Kwai restaurant, and if you'd like to join us, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. For this year's Windward Buddhist Temple Holiday Giving Program, we'll be benefiting again Senda's workshop at Kapilani Medical Center for Women and Children. Joy will now provide more details.
Hello. So the QR code's not there, but in the back, I have these little half sheets. I made a few copies of them. So if you're interested in participating in this holiday project, please, oh, there it is, thank you. Please grab one of these. So that QR code takes you to that, that's the official flyer from Santa's workshop. It has the detailed list of the items that they request. And of course, if you don't have time to get actual items, gift cards are welcome. And they have a specific list of gift cards that they prefer, but also you can make monetary donations, and we're going to do it as a temple. So I'll ask that if you do make a monetary donation, just write your checks to Windward Buddhist Temple and then put Santa's workshop in the memo line. I put that reminder on the flyer as well. Now, for those of us that shop on Amazon, they this QR code at the bottom goes to their Kapilani wish list. So it goes directly to their Amazon wish list. And so you can just go straight there, click a few items, and donate it. And I believe it gets shipped directly. But so that's another option as well. In the back, I've put a sign-up sheet. And you don't have to say what you're going to bring, but I put on their name, contact number, and then you can just check whether you're thinking about donating an item or money. So either way, so please invite you to participate in our holiday project. Thank you. Oh, and that's those are pictures and videos from a few years ago of the Santa's workshop, and so you can see all of the gifts donated, and they have it by age. And so when the hospital patients come in, they can go and shop for free. They can also shop for their siblings as well, since they're not able to leave the hospital usually. So, and it's all free, of course, for the families and for the children. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Joy. Yeah, I think for them, they like to receive cash donations, so that way at least they can buy gifts for specific age groups. So more information is on the flyer. It's on our bulletin board, so you can check that out. Carolyn, did you have something?
So one of my announcements is that this year, 2025, is the 10th anniversary for Honouliuli, for them finding it and creating it into a national monument. So I have brought some literature that all of you may have I'll leave it on the back. And so actually, there's probably enough of these cards for everyone. And so it's showing with the information in the back about the 10th anniversary. So throughout this year, they have been having various things put on by the National Park Service as well as JCCH. So they've been having at the Honolulu Museum of Art, they've been having videos and things like that. So I think they're on the winding down now, but next year they're planning to open visitations to the site. So if you're interested in going to that, then go onto the JCCH website and they'll announce when the visitations will be allowed. The difficult part about that is nobody may enter on their own since the site is on private land. Yeah, so arrangements have to be made and then like some kind of bus ride into the area, okay? The other announcement I have is for the 15th BWA State Membership Conference that will be in March of 2026. And I'd like to invite actually all of you, except children, because for this conference, it's not specifically BWA. We're inviting everyone. And so if you look over the workshops that are available, as well as the panel we're going to have, is dealing with issues that are current today, and I think it's of interest to everyone. And so you don't need to belong to the BWA to attend. So there's a link here if you'd like to go in and look at it. And the sheet I brought today has all the workshops listed and a little blurb about each workshop, so you kind of have an idea, okay? So if you have any questions about this, you can ask me after we have the service is over. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. Are there any other announcements? Oh, yes, Reverend.
About 2 months before, on September 7th, I distributed this book titled Reading in Shin Buddhist Teachings to you. I think some of you have this book, yeah? Yeah, however, an error was found in this book. So today, I brought a correction sticker which should be placed on page 76. So today, if you have the book, I will give the sticker to you. And after the service, I will put the stickers at the desk over the temple office. So anytime, please pick up the stickers. Yeah.
final announcement. I guess there's a freshly made bitter melon. So some for sale, $6, right? $6, right? Do they see you, Roy? Okay, Roy Miyamoto. Okay, let's do words of thanksgiving. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddha's compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Thank you.